Here are some movements for core stability, for hip stability, for anybody who may have tension in those areas, maybe the low back, or just need a simple practice to maybe tap in with the strengthening part of yoga, or feeling a little bit more strong and capable in the body. So this practice is done on the floor. Feel free to get creative. Maybe some of this stuff can be modified to be done on the couch or in your bed. So if getting down onto the floor and doesn't feel like it's an option for you, just know it's okay to take these poses and be creative with them. You're always going to listen to your body, make sure that the movement feels like it's empowering you, make sure that you're not inviting pain into your practice, and you always get to make a decision for yourself how you want to move your body. So to start, let's go ahead. I've got a strap and some yoga blocks. You can find items around your house that maybe you could get creative and switch them out for, but this is what I've got available here in my office. So first I'm going to come down onto my back, and I'll keep my knees bent, and see if you can start maybe from the get-go. Challenge yourself to see how controlled your movement can be through transitions. Instead of just rolling straight back, see if you can go slow to the floor. So once I get here, I'm going to go ahead and keep the knees bent, and my legs are about hip width distance apart. And it's up to you how close to your buns you want to walk your heels. And some people feel like they need to be able to touch their heels, but you want to listen to your knees to make sure that the body feels comfortable that way. So as you come down onto your back, maybe walk the feet mat width the distance. So you're going to walk the feet wider than the body, and the knees relax towards midline, and start to draw circles on the sacrum. So my knees and my legs are kind of moving in and out. My inner thighs, I feel them working. And I'm rolling around on the back of my body, the low back, the sacrum, the tailbone area, and I'm going in both directions. And I'm making observations about how this movement feels right here in this moment, if it feels fluid, if it feels sticky at all. And you're also welcome to linger in any spaces. And then I'll let go of that, and I'll walk my legs back in, hip width distance. Pressing the feet down into the ground through my heels, my big toe mound, and the little toe side of my foot or my feet, and then fan out the toes. So I'm not pressing my pelvis up off the floor, but I am pressing my feet down into the ground. Bringing my attention to my low back now. So with the low back, as I inhale, I'm going to let the low back lift a little higher than it already is. And then as I exhale, I'm rocking on my pelvis, trying to get the low back to come more in contact with the mat. So there's going to be a little bit of a posterior and anterior pelvic tilt or rocking. And if you bring your fingertips to your hip points, you can feel this happening in the body. So I'm just introducing some movement into this area. Once the movement feels comfortable, I'm going to let the movement start to get bigger. So I'm going to start with my arms next to my sides. As I inhale, that low back spacing becomes larger and the belly starts to lift, and I can feel my back arching. I'm reaching my arms up overhead, and then as I exhale, I'm going to bring the arms back down to my sides, rock the pelvis just a little ways, and see if my low back can come into contact with the floor. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. And then on the exhale, the arms will come back down again. Continuing on with that, I'm going to bring that yoga strap or yoga belt into this. I've got the belt about shoulder width distance, and I'm applying some tension Right now my thumbs are pointing towards each other, but I want to do thumbs up. So there's a little bit of rotation in the shoulders. So when I do thumbs up, it's like the thumbs are pointing back behind me. Tension on the strap as I inhale, arms reach up, and I'm getting a different experience in my shoulders now. Ooh. And then as I exhale, I move in the opposite direction. So I can feel muscles in my body working a little differently now, and it's bringing a little bit of a shake if I go too far. So I'm going to stop before I start to shake in the shoulders or in the arms as I inhale, reaching up. And then I'll change direction with my breath, coming back down again. So my arms aren't coming all the way down to the floor. This time I'm going to send one leg long as I inhale, kick one leg long out. How high up can I reach my arm? Stop with the shaking. Press through the heel of the extended leg, and then let's come back to start. And then I'm going to go second side. As I inhale, I'm going to extend the other leg, reach it out slow and steady. Arms overhead, reach through my heel, and then I change direction of movement when I change direction with the breath. And then I'll give myself a rest, let go of the strap, and find some wiper legs. Let my knees rock left to right. Working with the spine in this shape a little bit more intentionally. I'm back in my start position with my knees bent, my arms resting, and I can feel that there's a little bit of space between the floor and my low back. I want to bring my attention to the spine, just slowly moving up it from the point of contact low on the body, so where my sacrum is touching the floor. And I'm going to slowly work my way, working different segments of the spine until I get to the mid back. That's where the other point of contact is that I'm feeling with the floor. So for my body, sacrum is in contact, and then mid back is in contact, and there's very little bit of space between those 2 points. So I'll draw the breath in, and then as I exhale, I'm going to start to contract really low down in the abdominal region and just above the pubic bone, and try to work with the tilt of the pelvis, pressing the lowest point that's just above the sacrum down to the mat, and then relax away from it. So there's going to be a rocking and adjusting that happens with the pelvis and the spine. Now I'm going to move just up a segment of the spine. Find my inhale, and then as I exhale, I move slightly up from that last point, and I start to contract from the belly, the abdominal region, and I can feel the contraction kind of corseting into the body as I press a different section of my spine down in contact with the floor that previously was not touching the floor, and then I'll relax. So we'll cue the activation as we exhale, slowly moving up. And you might find that there's different points along the spine that are really hard to connect with or engage down into the floor. And how precise can you be as you're doing this? Are you sending a chunk of the spine down, or does it feel like you're really targeting a specific area? So we're working on core stability here. I'm going to go one more spot, but it's okay if this takes a while. When you're going slow and steady and intentional, it is going to take a while. And then I'll relax. From here, I'm going to come into a double leg tuck, pulling both knees in towards my chest. I can hold behind my thighs. I can hold onto my knees, whatever feels best. If deep knee flexion and hip flexion feels good, you can come here, but it's okay too if this is as far as you get. And a little bit of movement. Okay, we'll come up from this. You're welcome to roll to your side and gently press yourself up. Or if you'd like a more active way, I'm going to tuck myself into a roly-poly, tuck my chin to my chest,
and start to build momentum forwards and backwards until I slowly rock up through boat pose for a moment into a seated posture. So we are headed towards boat pose now. Worked with core stability on the ground. Gravity was kind of helping us, and now we're having to fight gravity a little bit with this one. I'm bringing a block between my knees. I'm gonna flex my feet, come up onto my heels, and try to find a neutral spine. Arms can reach out in front of you if it's helpful. And then I start to open or unhinge my hips, but my spine's not changing shape. If I feel steady here, I can rock back slightly and float my heels. Squeeze the block as you do this and breathe. Stay long and steady in the spine. Don't hold your breath here. So I notice I'm pressing my chest up. I want to bring my rib cage in tight to neutralize and lengthen my back body here. Squeeze the block. So we've got hip flexors working, we've got adductors, inner thigh working really well. And then start to send your weight forward. Your feet are going to find the floor neutral. Lift up onto the sit bones and give your body a hug here. Let the hips relax for a moment. You can play with that variation again if you liked it, or you can switch it out. Maybe you take the block out from between the knees this time. Coming onto my heels, got flexed feet. I'm going to unhinge the hips, give a little support behind the knees, and float the feet. Now my hands are not holding my legs here. It's just offering just a little bit of support. Open through the chest. So roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Lengthen through the spine. Flex the feet. Can you bring your shins more parallel with the ground? So rather than here, can you come here? From here, can you kick one leg out and then pull it in? The other leg out and then pull it in. Hold strong, stay here. Don't hold your breath. The breath comes, goes. Can you unhinge your boat and then pull it back in? Ooh, I'm shaking. I'm gonna go one more. Unhinge the boat, long, strong spine, core is engaged, and then pull it back in. Rock forwards. Give your body a hug and maybe rock a little bit left to right. From here, let's sweep the legs around into tabletop. As you come into tabletop, find the alignment that feels good for your body. I like to start with my shoulders and my wrists in one stacked vertical line here. The same thing with my hips. And then think about the shape of your spine. So sometimes what I see is people let the belly just drop heavy towards the ground. I want to brace the core. So it's the rib cage pulling in and up. It's the lengthening from the tailbone out the crown of the head. And then you can decide if you want to kickstand the feet or let the tops of the feet lay on your mat. I also have a slight protraction in the arms. What that means is I went from here to growing the arms long and feeling like there's a dome shape in the upper back. Glide the body forwards and backwards. Neck is in line with the spine, so try not to drop the head or keep it peeking out in front of you. And then find even between the hands and the feet. Shoulder taps. Right hand to the left shoulder, back down. Left hand to the right shoulder, back down. Bring it down to the legs. Kick a leg out, bring it in. Second leg, kick it out, bring it in. So we're gonna go through that again. Shoulder, shoulder, leg, leg. So you can stay here if that felt challenging. If that felt comfortable for you, try kicking the, let's see, I've got my left leg long. I'm gonna move forwards on my mat, planting my toes
and I'm stretching through the heel for a moment, so my weight shifted back, and then neutral. Float the leg. What we want here is neutral, even pelvis. So I don't want to bring my hip up like this, and I don't want to drop it low. I want to find even. The opposite arm will reach out away from you. It's like you're scooping with your hand and reaching out through your little finger here. Neck is neutral, spine is neutral, hips are neutral, foot is flexed, reaching energy out through the fingertips, bring it back into table. Second side, right leg's gonna go long, plant the toes, find a stretch. You can rock back for a moment into the calf, shift the weight forwards, float the leg, even hips. Opposite arm's gonna reach out, your hand is gonna scoop and then reach through the little finger here, pressing into the ground with the points of contact. Find neutral hips, long spine, gaze is towards the floor, but your chin is away from your chest. Bring it in, knees go wide, hip circles here. From this, we're coming into lunge. Walk the hands back up, lift up into a kneeling position. I'm gonna scoot back to the wall, and I'll bring my block with me. So in this kneeling position, this lunge, I've got my right foot forwards, and I'm gonna press the block. I'm gonna sandwich the block between my knee and the wall. And then I'll lift up. But as I lift up, you lose me. So I'm gonna adjust my camera here. So hopefully I stay in frame. Okay. Right knee forward or right foot forwards. We have the left knee down to the ground. You can kickstand or lay the foot flat. Right knee is sandwiching the block against a wall. So I'm pressing into the wall, feeling my outer hip activate. Fan out the toes of the leading foot. Stay tall here. Think about what shape the low back is making. Are the hips really far forwards, or are you rounded here? Remember, find a space. Find the pelvic tilt that feels really good for your body. And as you do that, as you adjust that pelvic tilt, dropping the hip points forwards and then back, you might discover that the stretch feels different. So again, you want the movement to feel empowering and healthy. You can stay right here in your lunge. My right leg is working real hard to press the block in. I'm grounded and long on the left side. If you want to open through the left arm can reach up and over into the wall. Elbow is bent, shoulders away from the ears, fingertips are pressing into the wall here. And then I'll slowly come out of it, take the block off, and I'll switch sides, changing direction here. Okay, block sandwich between the wall. Your block has lots of different height settings. Pick the one that's most appropriate for your body and your area that you're practicing in. Got my knee about 90 degrees, pressing the knee into the block. The block is pressing into the wall. Finding stacked hip and knee here. It's up to you if you want the toes to point behind you or if you want to kickstand the foot. Decide where the pelvis needs to be. So play with your pelvic tilt for a moment. Observe how that's changing, how this posture feels for your body. You might even notice that your glutes become a little bit more engaged as you're doing that. Decide where the pelvis needs to go. Stay tall and long in the spine. We're still pressing the knee, the outer knee into the block. You can stay here, or maybe the right arm reaches up and over, grounding the fingertips into the wall. Shoulder stays low. I'm not dropping my torso into the wall. I'm just pressing my fingertips into the wall, and I'm trying to stay neutral with my spine. Bring the arm down, remove the block. I'm gonna come back into tabletop, walk over onto my mat, making some hip circles here. And then I'm slowly dropping down onto the forearms. Deep knee flexion,
The head can come down to the ground. And then from here, I'm gonna send my legs back and my hips towards the floor. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Hands press into the ground. Here's our Sphinx pose. With Sphinx pose, I've got legs and hip width alignment. I'm letting my pubic bone and my hip points ground into the floor. My knees stay in contact with the floor, the tops of my feet in contact with the floor. Open through the chest, so shoulders roll up, back, and down. Elbows are dragging back. As the elbows drag back, I can feel my heart try to lift forwards. Hands are pressing and grounding down. If this is too much for my low back, I can make a correction by adjusting the tilt of my pelvis. As I do that, I feel my glutes engage differently, and I feel my abdominal muscles engage differently. So you're gonna find the modification down there that you need to. Long neck, gazes in front of you. Breathing here, and then you'll come down, turning my elbows out, stacking my hands. I can stack my forehead or take a cheek, bending into the knees, and letting the ankles crisscross over each other. So with Sphinx pose, we've got that big back bend happening. Sometimes that's too much. If Sphinx pose is too much, you're gonna come down into Cobra instead. We'll do a little baby Cobra. Hands are underneath the shoulders, chin to the chest, forehead to the ground. Squeeze the elbows in, drag the shoulder blades down your back. Hollow out the palms, fingertips ground. Hips are heavy, knees are heavy, feet are heavy. From the upper back, that's where the lift happens. Engage the shoulder blades towards each other to open through the chest. And then let the heart and the chin and forehead lift, and gaze can go out slightly in front of you. To test whether it's your hands or your back that's lifting you, float your hands for a moment and see if you fall towards the floor. If you fell to the floor, come back down. And instead, it may be more appropriate to practice just elbow lifts here, trying to engage through the upper back first. With the elbow lifts, you'll keep your forehead to the ground, and you can keep your chin tucked towards your chest. From elbow lifts, you can progress out to cactus. And then revisit your Cobra. It's that area that you just warmed that's lifting your heart away from the mat. Lower body stays on the floor. The spine is in a back bend, but it's elongated. And then relax back down. Before you shoot up into child's pose, slowly press up into table. Walk the knees in. Head towards child's pose. In child's pose, you can stay neutral, or if you want, you can bring a side bend. I'm going to turn my body so you can see. From child's pose, you can walk the hands out to one side. As I walk the hands out, I'm pressing out, down, and back through the hip. So left hand reaches across to the right, left hip presses down and back. Coming back through center if you went into that side bend variation, and then second side. And then back through center. All right. Hopefully you found some helpful tips in this movement segment. Maybe you found some stuff you really loved. Maybe you found some movement that you didn't quite love, and that's okay too. Our bodies are unique. We're going to experience this all differently. So yeah, pick and choose what you need to do, modify what you need to do, and make it accessible so that way you actually do it.